Formula One is one of the richest sports in the world and is without a doubt the richest motorsport in the world. And some of the money that goes around when it comes to the deals to host Grand Prix, when it comes to tie drivers down to long-term deals, are eye-watering. Some of the numbers that have been thrown around when it comes to Sir Lewis Hamilton's deal at Ferrari are absolutely incredible. And Alpine reportedly paid around $20 million just to get Franco Colapinto, who at the time of recording is effectively their test and reserve driver. That will not last too long. I imagine he will be a proper race seat driver very soon for Alpine. But there's a rumour going around at the moment about Max Verstappen and Aston Martin. Now, there have been links between these two for quite some time now. Obviously, Lawrence Stroll is someone who has pumped a lot of money into that team. They've got brand new facilities at Silverstone. Some people saying the most state-of-the-art facilities on the whole of the Formula One grid that puts the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes to shame. Now, when it comes to the drivers as well, Lawrence Stroll is someone who does not go cheap in terms of the person that partners his son Lance Stroll. The lead driver for Aston Martin so far has always been a multiple world champion, Sebastian Vettel before. We've got Fernando Alonso now, and there's a lot of rumours going around that Max Verstappen could be the future of that as well. As amazing as Alonso is, he is contracted currently with Aston Martin until the end of the 2026 season, which by that time he'll be, 45 years of age, and I don't doubt that he's going to be good enough to still race in Formula One, but if the chance to get Max Verstappen comes up for Stroll Sr., will he turn him down? I don't think so. And apparently, Aston Martin, they have denied now publicly that they are going to try and sign Verstappen for $1 billion. Now that is a lot of smackaroonies. That is a lot of money. We talk about some big figures here on the F1 Chronicle.com, but $1 billion, now that's a whole nother level. But let's have a look at this, guys. I've got a full article here. It's not on the F1Chronicle.com itself. Unfortunately, my good man Jared is off work at the moment, so he's unable to get these articles onto the website. But I do have the story in front of me, so just bear with me as I read from this for you. Aston Martin has denied wild reports that owner Lawrence Stroll is prepared to spend an eye-watering $1 billion to woo Max Verstappen to the team. A source told Britain's Daily Mail that team managing director Jefferson Slack has been going around saying Max will be joining Aston Martin. A deal would reunite the quadruple world champion Verstappen with Adrian Newey, who is starting work at the team in March. Over the winter, Aston Martin replaced team boss Mike Crack with renowned former Mercedes engineer Andy Cowell. Crack has remained at the team in a different role. He'll be, chief of trackside operations, the CTO, I think his position is. So he's not out of the team, but he is now no longer the team principal of Aston Martin. When asked about the Verstappen to Aston Martin rumours, a team spokesman categorically denies the report. Verstappen's management also acknowledged the reports but offered no comment. Despite Stroll's huge investments in the Silverstone-based team, Aston Martin struggled to develop its 2024 car within the season. "We certainly won the World Championship for the most updates," Cowell said, but they did not produce improvements in lap times. 27-year-old Verstappen's future beyond 2025 is unclear, but he seems excited by Red Bull signing up iconic German football manager Jurgen Klopp to head the brand's soccer programs, aka football to the rest of us. "I think the two of them have a lot to say to each other and a lot of questions to ask each other," Red Bull's F1 advisor Dr. Helmut Marko told Sport 1. "What they have both certainly got in common is that neither of them lets themselves be manipulated and is known and popular for clear and direct words. We are now trying to organise the meeting as soon as possible," he added. Jurgen Klopp has spoken publicly as well about how he wants to meet Max Verstappen too, so I think that'd be a cool chat for sure. "Max is a big football fan and he asked me how to invite him, Klopp, to a race. One of Max's best friends is Virgil van Dijk." Didn't know that. The Dutch defender for Liverpool FC in England. Holland's national team captain and for many years one of Jurgen Klopp's top performers during his time at Liverpool. "That's the good thing about Red Bull, that our brand sports program at the highest level enables us to create synergies and bring the protagonists together." Meanwhile, Verstappen denied that because he is nearing the end of his full allocation of super license penalty points that he might race more cautiously in 2025. Didn't doubt that for a second. "I won't change my driving style because of that," the Dutchman told Swiss newspaper Blick. I already know when I go too far. Like in Abu Dhabi, when I attacked Oscar Piastri at the start, I had no problem apologizing to him for that. And he did apologize, fair enough. But yeah, $1 billion. I mean, if anybody's wondering how that would work, that's more in terms of releasing him from his contract. So I don't know what Max Verstappen's salary is right now. It's a lot. I think he's probably on $50 million a year at Red Bull, roughly, something like that. So if you think about the finances of what that deal could be. So currently at the moment, depending on who you ask, but currently at the moment, officially, Max Verstappen is signed on at Red Bull until the end of the 2028 season. Now, Fernando Alonso has his contract until the end of 2026. So let's just say that Verstappen comes into Aston Martin in 2027 and there's no kind of early release break clauses. I mean, there might be. Apparently there aren't, but some people say there are. You don't know without looking at the thing. But let's just say there's not, just for simplicity's sake. So that's releasing effectively your driver 2 years early. So that's $100 million right there. The salary that Verstappen would be on at Aston Martin, I mean, honestly, 100 million maybe, 100 million a year. I could see it. You know, we're talking in a few years' time, Formula One continues to grow. He's going to have to go from the team that's, you know, he's been a part of for over 10 years at that point, over 10 years at this point, really, if you count his Toro Rosso days back in the day too. You know, so then you're talking, let's say, 4-year deal, 5-year deal, that's $500 million. The release thing in there too, that's another 100 million on top of that, so 600. You know, you can see how these figures can get to $1 billion. It's an eye-watering sum. Would they invest in that? I mean, it's not just Lawrence Stroll. He has the ultimate say. He's the head honcho, but there's other people there too, including Adrian Newey, in terms of the finances of the car brand for Aston Martin. So would they spend that much on him? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a lot of money. That is a hell of a lot of money. It depends what options present themselves at that time. But hey, you know, if he wants to, I think to stick around in Formula One for a longer amount of time until his mid-30s, he'd probably want to move team, because he's spoken quite a bit as Verstappen about wanting a new challenge eventually, and he'll have done all he wants to do in Formula One and has achieved what he wants to have achieved. You know, he could, by then he could be a 7-time world champion potentially. You don't know. Then he's on the same level as Hamilton and Michael Schumacher in that regard. So yeah, it's a ludicrous amount of money, but this is Formula One. Anything can happen, and it usually does. So I want to hear your thoughts though. Is this something that could happen? I've got my doubts, but I could definitely see him go to Aston Martin someday. Whether that figure is a bit hyperbolic is another matter, a bit exaggerated, that is another matter. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below as always, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well. I'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.